Hey everybody, Stefan Bean, your new home consultant for D.R. Horton here in Indianapolis. And today I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the top 10 reasons why you should buy a home with D.R. Horton. Let's go. But before we get started, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe link, tap on that bell for updates on all content related to D.R. Horton and new construction in Indianapolis. Without further ado, let's get started. D.R. Horton's move-in-ready inventory is pretty much unique to the market. Some builders are starting to catch on to this, but most builders are still doing your conventional sort of build-to-suit model in their communities. With D.R. Horton, what we have is, in some cases, over 100 or 200 inventory homes around the city available for purchase today. That means if you're looking for an existing home, you might consider one of our new homes because we can close it within a 30-day period. Now, it's not always the case where you need to move tomorrow, but in those cases where you do want to build, we do have options for buyers to purchase a home that's maybe mid-stage construction, or in many of our communities, we have what we call dirt lots that allow you to pick some of your features and finishes and put your touch on that home. But with D.R. Horton having hundreds of quick move-in homes available make us really unique and allow you to compare new homes which have lots of other benefits to existing homes and hopefully choose the new home, which will give you an opportunity to have less maintenance early on. You won't have to replace anything like HVACs or roof or anything like that anytime in the near future. D.R. Horton is truly a one-stop shop. So with us, you can come in and buy a home from us. But in addition to that, we also have an opportunity that you can work with our mortgage company. And there are some benefits to doing that, incentives that we offer, which we'll talk about later. But in addition to mortgage, we also have our own in-house insurance company. And what that does is it allows you to streamline the process. So instead of having to go get a quote over here and talk to your mortgage company over here and work with us on your home, you can do all of that under one roof. But what I always tell my clients is, in every situation, you don't have to use our services at all. You don't have to use our mortgage company. You don't have to use our insurance company. However, I do suggest and highly recommend getting multiple quotes on insurance. So quote us and then quote your insurance company and maybe a third one just to kind of mix it up. But oftentimes you'll find that D.R. Horton insurance is going to be the best price. Sometimes you won't. The other thing to know is that our insurance company, like all insurance companies, can bundle your home and your auto together as well for additional discounts. So definitely keep that in mind. As far as our mortgage company goes, again, we're not going to force you to use our mortgage company. Like I said, we do have some incentives that might enhance your decision to use us, but feel free to consider and compare our mortgage company to yours. And then hopefully in the end, you'll find that working with us with all of the services under one roof is going to be a huge benefit to you. D.R. Horton, as I mentioned before, offers a number of incentives to its buyers. One of those incentives, which I think has a great impact on making closing a little bit easier, is closing costs. For pretty much every buyer that works with DHI Mortgage, you'll receive $4,000 towards your closing costs. That about cuts your closing costs in half, which is great because to have extra money that you can use after closing to do things around the house or buy furniture or maybe expand your patio, things of that nature, that extra $4,000 can go a long way. But for some of our buyers who happen to be healthcare workers, veterans, fire and rescue, first responders, we also have an opportunity for an extra $1,000 towards closing costs. And this is through our Main Street Stars program. And we love being able to give back to those people who really do serve in the most critical areas that our community needs. So for some buyers, you might receive up to $5,000 towards closing costs. To have an extra $5,000 in your pocket is a huge benefit and one of the main reasons why you should consider working with D.R. Horton. More buying power. One of the unique opportunities you have when working with a builder like D.R. Horton is interest rate incentives. These are interest rates that the builder has bought down from market rate, so fairly significantly usually. If today's market rate is 6.5%, we've bought it down to 4.5%, and what that means for you is that in addition to it being a lower interest rate, which saves you a significant amount of money over time, it also opens the door for more buying power. So let's say, for instance, you come in pre-approved for $300,000 with today's market rate. In most cases, with our interest rate incentive, you can be qualified for $30, $40, $50, maybe even $60,000 more in a home. So while a lot of people think, hey, new construction's too expensive, I just would never have the budget, maybe reconsider and come in and talk to us, because in most cases, these interest rates that we have, which are 1.5, 2 points lower than the market rate, that can equate to tens of thousands of dollars in additional buying power, which means you might be able to get into more home and a higher price, but what that equates to with a lower interest rate is potentially the same or less payment on a monthly basis. And when I talk to my clients, I always say, don't worry about the big number, the price of the home. What you really need to look at, and what most lenders are considering when they're looking at your ability to purchase, is that monthly payment. And that's what's so great about a lower interest rate, is it allows you more space between your current market rate budget and maybe a higher payment, or not higher payment, but a higher priced home, which might have a similar payment or less than what you were expecting to pay with market rate. So interest rate incentives can be a huge bonus, and definitely something that you should take advantage of when working with a builder like D.R. Horton. Your peace of mind. One of the great things about D.R. Horton, and really most new construction builders have this available to you as well, is our warranty programs. So one of the things, especially with a new construction home, that builders want you to feel is a peace of mind. Coming from maybe an apartment complex or maybe an older home, and you're moving up into a newer home, or maybe a bigger home, one of the things they want you to feel is that when you move into this home, there's not really going to be anything that you need to be concerned with. So you're not going to have to replace your mechanicals because they're brand new. You're not going to have to replace the roof or plumbing or anything of that nature. Floors are all brand new. But things happen. These homes are all built by humans, and on occasion, humans do make mistakes. I know I do. I know you probably have made a mistake or two in your life, especially if it's when building something or helping a neighbor with something. You've probably made a mistake. We've all made mistakes, and that's what makes us unique as humans. But with a house, you want to have peace of mind. So builders, D.R. Horton specifically, give you a very unique warranty program. And that program is 1 year, which is essentially bumper to bumper. So when you move in that first year, if anything happens to the home, our warranty department will come in and evaluate the situation and determine if it's a replacement or a repair. You also get a 2-year warranty, which is going to be on all of your mechanicals. So your mechanicals are things like your water heater, your HVAC system. So if something happens to those, or one of them fails or something like that, within 2 years of purchasing your home, have the warranty team come out, evaluate whether it needs to be a repair or a full replacement, and we'll take care of it. Side note, most of your mechanicals are going to come with an extended warranty of 5 years with the manufacturer. So even after 2 years, when you work with any of the repair companies like a HVAC repair shop, most of them have internal warranty companies who will work directly with the manufacturer to help get those repairs done at no cost to you. And then the biggest, maybe most important part of the warranty is our 10-year warranty, which is on the structure and on the foundation of your home. So should anything happen, the house gets out of square, or a wall fails, heaven forbid, or even your concrete begins to crack and separate, or the house settles in a way it shouldn't, that's covered under your 10-year warranty. So if anything happens in those various periods of time, you can reach out to our warranty department and someone will come out, evaluate, and determine the best course of action. Now, one of the other things that I think a lot of builders really don't do so well, and that's in allowing third-party inspections. So when you're buying a home from us, you have the opportunity to have a third-party inspector come in before you purchase the home, before you close on the home, and they can evaluate the quality of the build. So like I mentioned before, all of our homes are built by humans, and unfortunately, that can come with, a mistake here or there. In most cases, the things that come up in our inspections are purely just, oh, there's a ding in the wall, or, this corner needs to be retouched, or something like that. There's usually never any major issues, but if something were to come up that was a major issue, then our team is going to evaluate that, determine how important that is. If it's structural, of course, we'll fix it. If it's a safety or health issue, absolutely, we'll take care of those things. But we'll take a look at those things and we'll make it right. Our goal is not to get you into a home that you maybe feel less secure in than the home that you're coming from. Our goal is to put you into a home that you love, that you want to live in for many years to come, and that you're going to feel confident is going to be there for many years to come. Location, location, location. Because D.R. Horton is the country's largest builder, one of the benefits that we can provide to you is a location that is probably in or near the area that you really want to buy your next home. So for instance, I'm standing outside Quail West here, which is in Danville, and it's one of 2 communities that we have in Danville, Indiana. But beyond that, Indianapolis itself has 23 plus communities, and we're opening 2 or 3 more just this year. So if you are looking for a home somewhere in the community that you live, we probably have a location available to you. Energy efficiency in a new home is so important. It's one of the many ways that we can help save you money on a monthly basis, in addition to our financing incentives. Energy efficiency is of utmost importance to help lower your bills. So one of the things that I think is really cool about D.R. Horton is that every one of our homes prior to closing goes through a third-party energy consultant to determine the efficiency rating of your home. Now, in most cases, our homes come back consistently with ratings higher than Energy Star. And I'm sure you've probably heard of Energy Star because that is on every one of our appliances. If they're efficient, it's oftentimes on HVAC systems like behind me. But Energy Star is kind of that standard that we're used to. If it's energy efficient, it probably says Energy Star. But in the case of our homes, once they've been evaluated, oftentimes they're coming back with a higher rating, like a better efficiency value than Energy Star. And that just means more money savings for you. It means your home's gonna feel less drafty. It means your home is going to heat and cool more efficiently. It means you're gonna spend less on your electric and gas bills. And it just adds to that additional peace of mind. D.R. Horton takes the quality of each and every build very seriously. Each of our homes is built with a panelized system. That means that all of the exterior walls of our homes are panelized. They're built off-site in a controlled facility and then shipped to our site and put together, assembled by our workers. This has a couple of benefits. One of those is that because they're assembled in a controlled facility, they've all expanded and contracted at the same rate. When they hit our sites, they're going to expand and contract at the same rate. This means you're going to have less nail pops, less cracking at seams. It's going to ensure your home is a higher quality for a longer period. The other thing to note, underneath this green material here are OSB panels. Every single one of our homes uses OSB from wall to wall, from corner to corner, and that ensures a much more rigid and structural home. Many other builders will do OSB on the corners, and that's sometimes called a California corner. But what that does, while it does provide some structure, it leaves that area between the corners weak. We've actually been told by firefighters that with some of our competitors' homes, it's actually easier for them to go through the side of the home and faster for them to go through the side of the home than through the front door. I think that's a huge selling point for us, because in reality, you don't want somebody coming through the side of your house. That tells me that from a security perspective, the side of my home is not very secure. In the case of our homes, the front door is going to be the best access point for a firefighter in the event of an emergency. I think that makes a compelling statement for why D.R. Horton should be your builder of choice. The other thing to note is that the way that we pour our foundations, it's all done as one solid piece. So our footers and our side walls, where the panels sit and get secured, those are all poured individually, and then in between those, we pour our concrete slabs. Many other production builders are now pouring the footers, and then they're securing on top of that concrete blocks. In my opinion, and I think many builders' opinions, that's going to still be secure and rigid, but over time, it could cause some other problems. If you have individual blocks failing, that could create some issues with water seepage or things like that. Whereas with ours, because it is one single piece, the structure of the home should remain more solid for a longer period of time, and should assume that we won't have the same kind of issues in the long term that a home with the cinder blocks as that sort of sill plate would have. So D.R. Horton takes incredible care to think about every aspect of building a home to make sure it's secure and safe and rigid and will last for time. Upgraded materials in every one of our homes. One of the great things about buying new construction from D.R. Horton is that with our homes, we try and put in the features and finishes that most buyers are going to be attracted to. So for instance, in our kitchens, we have quartz countertops. All of our appliances are included, which are all stainless steel. That includes the fridge, which most builders don't do. And then depending on the community, we have things like laminate floors or luxury vinyl plank, which is a great product, durable, waterproof, easy to clean. And then for the exterior of our homes, most of our communities will have brick or stone on the exterior, and then either vinyl or hardy plank siding, which is an incredibly durable material and adds a little bit of an R value or additional energy savings to you. So when you buy a D.R. Horton home, you're not going to have to worry about if the finishes that you're going to get are high quality. You're not going to have to worry about if you're going to have to replace carpet or flooring right away like you might in an existing home. All of our materials are high quality, brand new, and perfect for you to move into and get to use right away. And this is maybe the most important of all. You get to work with people like me, your new home consultant, loan officers, closing team, superintendents. All of our people are trained and ready to help you from the process of purchase to the closing process. And throughout that whole process, our goal is to make it as easy, carefree as possible. But we know that there are going to be things that you don't have the answers to, and that's why we're here. We'll provide updates if you happen to be buying a home that is completed. We can answer questions that you might have about the loan process or even what comes next. And then you'll work with the superintendent about a week to a week and a half before closing to walk through and just make sure everything in the home is exactly how you want it. Our goal is to make you happy in your new D.R. Horton home.